Welcome everyone to the Scott Show Raw Recap. It is Monday night. Of course, we are here on Monday night after Monday Night Raw talking about what happened on Raw itself. But before we go to the Monday Night Raw Recap, I want to give you guys a little insight on something big that's coming up. You all know what it is because you heard about it lots on Raw tonight. And that is the WWE Mixed Match Challenge. So there are, I think, like 12 different teams, 6 from each brand, and they will be facing off against each other. Apparently it's for charity. They probably all have the same charity, so whoever wins, it'll be fun. It's a cool little program. Excuse me. It's a cool little program for Facebook. And the teams so far are as follows. Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Charlotte Flair and Bobby Roode. Sasha Banks and Finn Balor. Lana and Rusev. The dumpster fire herself, Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Nia Jax and Apollo Crews. Asuka versus The Miz. Alicia Fox versus Goldust. And then Bayley has a partner. And it's either Jason Jordan, Elias, or Samoa Joe. And then they have unassigned members of it. And it's all SmackDown. They'll announce these tomorrow. You have Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Natalya who need partners. And the guys that are in it is Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and a member of the New Day by fan vote. So, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Hopefully, hopefully it goes well. I would love to see Naomi and Jimmy Uso lose first so we don't have to see them and they can get off of my Facebook. And personally, I'd love to see Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman win the whole damn thing. So just saying, now let's get to the Raw Recap show. It was a good show. 3 hours of TV sometimes is kind of hard to watch. Especially when the screens are not always that great. Roman Reigns comes out first. Roman Reigns gets booed out of the building. People hate Roman Reigns, and why is he the Intercontinental Champion? I don't freaking know. Alright, so he talked about silencing Samoa Joe, and then he talked about all this other, just a whole bunch of random crap. And then out comes Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan starts talking about we and saying we a lot, and now that we're the 3-man team, he was going to say Shield, and then he got stopped by Seth Rollins coming out, and they all had a conversation. Jordan said, "We are the best 3-man team here in the WWE." Then, you heard the very familiar music of Finn Balor, and the Balor Club came out. Balor Club, of course, is Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Now, first of all, I'm gonna do a little complaint here first. I understand if they all come out to the same music the first time, but during the last match they did not. And they need to have the same shirts on. That would be cool. They treat the Shield with a lot of respect, which is cool. Except for Jordan, they call him a nerd. Actually a nerd. I can't do it like Luke Gallows, and you guys probably go get deaf if I did. Angle set a 6-man match for tonight, and that match will be your main event. So then Bayley, Sasha came out, and Mickey came out with Bayley, which was kind of weird, only because of the inflatable arms waving tube men, and just how the whole thing happened. The Sasha Banks and Bayley against Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. A reason why they did that is they did not talk about it on TV, but Paige was suffering through an injury, and so she was not in the match. The match was good. Mandy Rose is getting better by the day. She's definitely watchable. And Sasha Banks is still the boss. As Sasha gets Mandy Rose in the bank statement, wins the match for the team. Sasha Banks and Bayley are your winners. Paige went kind of nuts, and that was kind of cool. Cedric Alexander got this gold dust, kind of old school gold dust Rocky thing going on, which was really cool. Then they showed a thing about how Goldust was introduced to his partner Alicia Fox for the Mixed Match Challenge, which was pretty cool. Then they had Matt Hardy versus Kurt Hawkins. I am not interested in the Woken gimmick. I think the laughing thing is just way too stupid. So Matt Hardy won the match, laughed with Bray Wyatt. It was dumb. It was just dumb. I'm moving on. Okay. Elias was in the ring with the spotlight, and, JoJo says, now introducing Elias, as she does. So Elias said something about Elvis, and the crowd actually kind of gave him a little bit of, did not cheer or anything. It was really weird. Elias played the guitar and actually did pretty well. And then The Miz came out. So The Miz comes out, and Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel are his guests for tonight. As they're trying to give The Miz, they're trying to make chants of thank you, Miz, talking about winning the Mizzies, just all this other stuff. It was just crazy. They try to one-up each other. It was really funny. The Miz is going to have a daughter, so congratulations to The Miz and Maurice. I know I'd probably already said that, but I forgot, or I did not notice that they had announced that it was going to be a girl. Awesome. And he says he wants the IC title back. Awesome. Just give it to him. Roman Reigns just hand him the belt. That would be great. So that's kind of the way it happened there. So they went backstage and talked to the Balor Club, and Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson were talking about. They brought up names from New Japan, which was really, really weird. But it gets weirder as the night goes along. Cedric Alexander and Enzo Amore Cruiserweight Championship match. Good match. Enzo Amore comes out first saying how he was sick. He couldn't compete, which was true. And then he thanked Nia Jax. He said, I had some soup, but I had a soda. And then he says, thanks, Nia. And kind of gives this wink to the camera. It's just probably the most beautiful thing I've seen all day. Cedric Alexander and Enzo have a great match. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the match up until Enzo getting clipped in the head, and then Enzo going out to the floor. He's bleeding all profusely, and then Cedric Alexander hits his dive, misses the dive, just kind of screwed up on the dive, and Enzo clutches his ankle. Now, if it's fake and it's a work injury, then Enzo is more amazing than I thought. They did go backstage. Nia asked how he was doing. I didn't know if they had that planned already or if this whole ankle thing was a work, because if it is, the guy's a freaking genius. I just bought it hook, line, and sinker. It looks so good. Alright, and then Enzo was the backstage trainer, said that you're going to undergo x-rays, possible MRI. And Nia Jax appears. Enzo thanks her, and he tries so hard to play the tough guy, and that was actually really cool. So Kurt Angle gets this thing where he's going to have the Bar fight in a match. He books that match for the Royal Rumble, for the Raw Tag Team titles. Then The Miz comes in and talks about this unscripted show that he has and all this other great stuff. And then they go to a tape where they have The Miz and Asuka meet, that they are going to be working together. You know what I would have loved to see with a mixed match challenge if you're going to do it this way? Give them a match of Raw women, SmackDown guys, and SmackDown girls and Raw. Yeah. I think that would have been awesome. I mean, I could just imagine Becky Lynch and Braun Strowman, or Becky Lynch and Finn Balor. So either way, it would have been great. The Bar faced off against Titus Worldwide. Titus Worldwide won the match. Quite a shocking turn of events there, and I hope they do something with it instead of just giving them the win. Then they had Brock come out, and Paul Heyman, he cuts an amazing promo, as only Paul Heyman can. Then you get the fight with him and Kane. They go into the back. They're fighting by the tables. All of a sudden, Braun comes in, throws Lesnar into this pile of whatever containers they are, and a table, and then throws Kane in there, goes into this other table, grabs a grappling hook, of all things, takes it, brings it up to the rigging, and tears the rigging down, letting it fall on Lesnar and Kane. First of all, holy crap. Second of all, holy crap. Third of all, holy crap. Braun Strowman is a beast, and I posted that he just win right now, and I'd be fine. Then we had a very interesting match, and it wasn't interesting because of the match itself. It was interesting what happened after it. Samoa Joe and Rhino had their match. They're making Rhino kind of look bad, but it is what it is. Samoa Joe still beat him up. Then they had Joe talk about how Roman's victory was, he beat years off of Roman Reigns' career, and then he announces himself for the Rumble, and once he says John Cena's name, he promises to eliminate John Cena first. So I'm going to beg Samoa Joe, you lost a lot of credibility for me for getting eliminated at the Survivor Series. So you need to redeem yourself, Samoa Joe. Redeem yourself. And my option to redeem yourself from me would to be injure severely John Cena. And I would be freaking going nuts. Now, I did hear that John Cena will be on Raw for the majority of his time back with the company. And if it's against Samoa Joe, as long as John Cena gets something broken and maybe what I would do is have Samoa Joe break his orbital bone, then he can come back and then maybe separate his shoulder, or I got something better. Put a needle in John's arm so maybe he can deflate because of all those steroids that he's taken. That's what I would do. But Samoa Joe just needs to do something to beat John Cena and do it good. Then he got to Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. And she said, I can't believe what Asuka said about you. That's what Alexa Bliss said to Nia. And she said, what did she say? And she said what she said. And then she asked if Bliss spoke Japanese, because Asuka doesn't speak English. Now, she does speak English, just not good English. And I'm sure she's not in the back talking smack about Nia Jax. So, it was very interesting. But Asuka came out and still got jumped by Nia Jax. So, I think it was just kind of a plan anyway to get to her. But Nia at least showed that she's not an idiot. And tonight's main event, Roman Reigns, Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins versus the Balor Club. Again, the Balor Club did not come out with their own music. Not like Jason Jordan came out with his two guys, but they're not supposed to be a team. They were a makeshift team from whatever, and it just worked out. Jason Jordan screwed up twice, ending in Seth getting the coup de grace and Balor pinning Seth. So at least Roman didn't get pinned there. So no Intercontinental shots for any of y'all. And then The Miz came out and beat up all three of the Champions Club for the last part. Last part of the night, you get to see The Miz. And it will be The Miz and Roman Reigns at the 25th anniversary show of Monday Night Raw. Hopefully that might be the main event. One thing I want to say about that before we go off of the show here tonight, I do want to say that I think that the way they need to handle the Undertaker thing is to introduce the Undertaker as the headliner of the Hall of Fame ceremonies. That's what they need to do. I don't think the Undertaker has it in him to wrestle another match, and that was a beautiful way to retire him, even though it was to Roman freaking Reigns. So that's what I think. That's what I'm going to go with. And I'm done with this show. So you guys have a great rest of your night. We'll catch you here real soon on the Scott Show podcast. Don't forget to check us out at thescottshow.com.